Bonjour, are you struggling to know which articles to use and where, or when it is time to make the accord of the participe passé? That might be because you don't actually know the difference between the feminine and masculine nouns. So how do we do that? By the end of this video, I'm going to teach you once and for all how to get past all of these issues. But before we get started, tell me in the comments what your favorite thing is about learning French and subscribe for more similar content. Now, we're going to see two columns here. We have one column with the usual feminine endings, and repeat after me: ure, ans, ans, sion, sion, te, oui, eie, I, et, and er. And we have some examples. For example, the sculpture is la sculpture. We see the first one. Then we have l'ordonnance, which is the prescription, or la dimension, the dimension, la publicité, the publicity, la situation, the situation, and so on and so forth. These are the usual feminine endings. Now let's go about the usual masculine endings. We have âge, o, and man. For example, le courage is the courage. Le compliment is the compliment. Next we have te. In general, when you have nouns that end in consonants, those are masculine nouns. Just a general rule. There are exceptions, but let's not worry too much about those. Al, aille, aille, isme. Le travail, for example, the work. L'appareil, the still camera, right? But are there exceptions? As we said, yes, obviously. So we're going to look at some of these exceptions. On the right side, we have exceptions for feminine nouns. La page, for example, because we know that age is a typical masculine ending for nouns. So we have the page, or la plage, the beach, la nuit, which is, as we said, typically nouns that end in consonants are masculine, but this one is an exception, and the same happens for la forêt, which means the forest. On the other hand, we have usual feminine endings such as ans, te, I, and so on that actually belong to some of the masculine nouns. For example, we have le silence, which is the silence, le traité, the treaty, le comité, the committee, le parapluie, le génie, le bonheur, right? Okay, if you understand all of this, now I want to also make a separate slide and actually tell you a little bit of how we can practice this concept of recognizing different nouns and how to build simple sentences that are going to make use of participe passé or of different articles that change obviously their form according to the gender of the subject, right? So let's call this an exercise and say something like this. Uh, the page was taken from the book, right? We know so far, or if we don't know, the page is la page, so la page. Oh, to take, and I'm going to put here as a vocabulary. To take is prendre in French. And the participe passé, I'm going to put it in parentheses, is pris. Now, the page was taken from the book. In this case was, do we know the conjugation of the verb être, which means to be, at past simple or at passé composé in French? A été. A été. Now I don't have over here the accents, but there should be like accents over here. One like this, one like this. right? A été pris, and now it's the moment of truth. Here we have to attach an E. I'm sorry, an E like this. A été prise. And now the pronunciation changes too, because we have an S followed by a vowel. Prise. A été prise. Why did we put the E? Because we've managed to do the accord with the subject, which is la page, right? So in this case, we have a feminine noun that is the subject. So obviously the verb in itself, which is conjugated using also the participe passé, is going to be um, affected by this, right? A été prise du livre, right? From the book. We have normally le livre, but we know that followed by le will result in du. Well, this is the first example. Let's take another one. Now with a masculine, yeah, masculine. Let's find one masculine noun that we have over here. Okay, compliment, for example. The compliments, the compliments that she received were um were beautiful. Let's keep it simple. Now let's try about it. We know it is le compliment, the compliment. But now we know that we have to put it to plural, to transform it, right? Why is that? Because we know in the original sentence are multiple, the complements. For this, we're going to attach over here an S, because we know that the article for plural, definite article for plural is le, not le. Okay, I'm going to mark it in red. I'm going to mark it also this one over here. I'm going to mark the changes with red. Les compliments, we also have to put the S over here because it's the plural of the noun in this case. That we know it translates to que. I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to black. Que, elle, we know she is elle. A, received, we have the past participle is reçu. Que elle a reçu. Do we notice a mistake over here? If you noticed it, good job for you. We need to use the elision over here, as we have one word that ends in a vowel and the next one that starts with a vowel. So you're paying attention. I like it. Qu'elle a reçu. And now we also need to apply one rule from the accord of the participe passé. We know that verbs that are conjugated with avoir and are uh, preceded by que, are introduced by que, obviously uh, need to be in line with the complement d'objet, the direct complement that is actually before the que. So that is the case over here. The compliments that she has received. What did she receive? Compliments. This is the question for in French for finding a complement, a direct complement or a direct object, right? So we have direct object, les compliments, and here we would need to put an additional S because we know that this would be the accord needed for this case, because we would have le compliment, which is a masculine noun, right? And for plural, it would be an S over here. Qu'elle a reçu, or beautiful. Now it's the same thing as here, but we don't have a été, we have ont été, right? Right, okay, ont été. And now I'm going to also, well, save this one. we have an adjective over here. I don't think we've talked about adjectives yet, but I'm going to also make a lesson on that, so don't forget to subscribe again, right? If you haven't done it already. Uh, and uh, and yeah, I hope that this lesson was of great value to you, and I hope to see you in my next one. For now, bye bye.